Welcome back to your live continuing coverage of InfoComm 2015's Digital Signage Pavilion on the Digital Signage stage here at the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando, Florida. Many theme parks here. This is the theme park for the week. This is where all the magic happens. It's unbelievable here. More toys, gadgets, and gizmos than you can even think about or dream about. More signage than you see in Vegas. It is unreal. And this is BeTerrific, your live official continuing coverage of the Digital Signage Pavilion here. You're the Terrifics. You make BeTerrific special. Thank you so much for watching. Join the conversation. Join our BeTerrific Slack chat. Go to BeTerrific.com/Slack. Enter your name and email. We'll send you an invite. You can join the other Terrifics and ourselves in live, real-time conversation. We can ask your questions and read your comments on air, and we can converse with you as we check in 24 hours a day to keep the conversation going. You can also reach us on social media at BeTerrific TV on Twitter and Instagram, and of course, BeTerrific TV is our Facebook and our YouTube page as well. We archive all our content on our site, BeTerrific.com, and our YouTube page if you missed anything. And of course, you can reach us the old-fashioned way. Email, connect@BeTerrific.com. I've got Vin Bruno here from Crestron. These guys are an amazing company. I think you guys are the automation pioneers. I think of you from home automation. I first found out about you guys in the early 1990s or the mid 1990s when I saw an apartment on Central Park West in New York City. This unbelievable apartment was being gutted, and they were putting in this cabling and all this stuff. What is that for? Oh, it's to control the lights. It's to control the blinds. It's to control the TV anywhere in the house from these little LCD panels. Wow, how do you do that? Crestron. And that's my first experience with Crestron. It was mind-numbing. I saw the guy who was installing it and went back to see it when it was finished, and it blew my mind. I love it. I want it. I dream about it, and it's flawless. It works great. You guys started in the 60s.
That's correct.
And automating projectors for clients, and that's really in the digital signage space, believe it or not. And then today you do a lot in corporate America as well as home automation and all this other stuff. Vin, thank you and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Talk about how your applications are working in digital signage right now.
Well, we manufacture right in northern New Jersey switchers, distribution amplifiers, scalers, and control processors. And we've got a way to route sources and control those sources even from an iPad or a phone to display digital signage.
That's really great. I think it allows you to have much more flexibility and control, and it allows you to actually get the images you want and to scale as you put video walls in or bigger displays in or multiple displays. I like that. You guys make it easy. I think that's the key.
We do, and we even route different formats of video. So today 4K is prevalent. So with a 3x3 video wall for digital signage, which we have in our own experience center in northern New Jersey, we can configure 2x2 of that wall to be in 4K while the rest of the 5 displays are in 1080p.
I like that. That's a great feature. That's very interesting. Talk about the roots of the company. One of the things I love about Crestron is how much you give back to the community, how much you pay it forward. We kind of talked about that a little with Mike White and how he pays it forward as far as education and spreading the gospel and being an advocate for digital signage and his company, Multimedia Solutions. But I think that you guys really get out into the community and make a difference. You have a ball field in northern New Jersey, and you do a lot more stuff as well.
Yeah, George Feldstein is the founder of our company. He passed this past year. We miss him dearly. He was the modern day Thomas Edison, and it's fun working for him. And you know, he's genuinely cares about his employees, his partners, his customers, and his community. So the ball field, which you mentioned, it's great. I drive by it every day, and I see our Crestron sign. And what it was, there were people going door to door asking for contribution to fix up the ball field. George is a humble man, and when they came to his door, you know, he said, "What do you need?" "Well, we're trying to raise $10,000. He comes back and hands him a piece of paper. It's a check for $10,000. Wow. He didn't ask for that sign. The community built that sign.
Wow.
And he probably thought, why did they waste all that money building that sign? But it's a beautiful display. I'm proud to see, you know, that Crestron logo made so nicely on that ball field.
And you've got a hockey team at the Ice House in Hackensack. I play against them.
Oh, do you? That's
they're
great.
too good. I don't like them.
Okay. Well,
how do I get on that team?
Well, you're right in Secaucus.
Yes,
come knock on our door at Rockley. I'll get you on the team.
Excellent, that would be great. I love it.
But then I want to mention, since you brought up about the community, I got to be part of one of George's projects, and that's the Wounded Warrior Project.
I love that project.
You know it. So we build and donate home theater systems to Wounded Warrior hospitals, and what we do, we get these soldiers out of their rooms and into a community with one another, whether they're watching music or music videos, movies, playing games. Prior to these installations of these home theater systems, these soldiers are locked up in their rooms and not getting out there.
Thank you. I can't thank you enough for that. On behalf of the viewers and myself and our crew and BeTerrific, thank you, because I think as a nation, unfortunately, we sometimes forget about our troops, the people who defend and protect our freedom. Whenever I see our troops, when I travel a lot, when I see them in the airport, I just walk up to them, thank you. That's all. I just say thank you. I don't want to bother them. But I really appreciate the fact that they go out, they don't make the decisions whether we should be or shouldn't be, whether we should or we shouldn't. They just blindly serve, defending our freedom, and I appreciate that greatly. It's something I couldn't do myself. My grandfather did, and I appreciate that. And so I don't think we do enough as a society to help our troops get back on their feet, to help them reassimilate into society. So that is something that is huge. It makes such a difference, and what you guys do is tremendous, and thank you.
Well, you're welcome. That project was near and dear to George's heart.
I bet.
And he's so humble. I have the good privilege of having done several of these ribbon cuttings and presentations, and I would say to him, you should be there. And he was there, but he did not want to be that person.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Well, you talk about him for a second. First of all, I'm sorry for your loss, and I know it really is. It's one of the few companies, you guys I think do $500 or $600 million a year in revenue, but you're still a family. You talk to the employees there, everybody feels close and like a family, and I know that every employee felt like they lost a dad or an uncle or a friend. And really felt that way, really lost a family member more than a friend, or if it wasn't a close friend. And so I know it hurts a lot, but talk about this guy's vision. I know you said Thomas Edison, but let's give people an idea. Let's take them back to the 60s for a second. The World's Fair was in New York in '64. Tomorrowland was the big attraction. It looked into the future. It didn't have automation or home automation or office automation in mind. It didn't have digital signage in mind. 4 years later, this guy starts putting projectors together and automating them. Technically the first digital signage automation, because those are technically digital signage. And even if it's just automation, it doesn't matter. The vision that right. George had to do this, and then to keep building on it and building on it. But I just think back, like, people thought Thomas Edison was crazy and Ben Franklin was crazy and Isaac Newton was crazy and Da Vinci was crazy, right? He created the helicopter, right? Really, we have these drawings of Da Vinci with the helicopter, and people thought he was a loon. I can't imagine in '68 what people thought of George when he started talking about doing this, because he was such a visionary. Can you talk about him and his vision, and then how he continued to grow the company, didn't just sit on the laurels of, hey,
right.
we're Crestron?
Yeah, George is never in the moment. He was always thinking ahead. Now, we do a couple of things at Crestron. We invent a lot of products, and we also make a lot of products we have invented better. And he would just walk around every day, visit office by office, cube by cube, engineer by engineer, come in, sit at your desk, tell a story, pay attention, come away with probably a half dozen ideas. That's amazing.
So we've got JT Hockey in our Slack chat. First of all, he says he wants to come take on the Hackensack, the team in Hackensack. He says he's from Long Island, New York. JT Hockey 25 in our Slack chat. He wants to take on the Crestron team.
All right.
And number two, he wants to know if you could talk a little bit about what you guys do in the corporate world. You're in a lot of conference rooms and stuff, and what you can offer the corporate world, not only digital signage, but also the other stuff you guys offer for corporate America as far as automation and how that works.
Well, first, bring it on. My email address is vbruno@crestron.com, and I'll arrange the game. Secondly, yes, corporate enterprise is our biggest business. And what I like to say is that we simplify technology in boardrooms, classes, hospitality situations, but our technology is such that we know when you've scheduled a meeting. Okay, and so 15 minutes before that meeting comes on, the room knows you're coming into it, your preferences come on, your lighting comes on, your projector or displays come on, and your video conference system automatically is dialed in and you're ready to go. So it's a no button push experience.
Wow.
The Crestron system also knows when your meeting is scheduled to end. Whether or not it does end, 15 minutes later, we know you're not in the room anymore, the system's shut down. So, you know, not only is it environmentally friendly, it's incredibly efficient. Because how many of us experienced in the past, you know, setting up a meeting, a 10 o'clock meeting never starts till 10:20 because you're trying to figure out how to turn your video conference system on.
Yeah, I think that that is very important, and it's true. You have to call the IT guy. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. I've been in many meetings where it's like, oh, how do we close these blinds? How do we turn this on? But I think actually that, as we're talking about, I see how it can translate to digital signage also additionally, because if you think about it, and I think maybe this is one of the directions digital signage will go, is you talk about that theater with the troops, and I know Crestron from home theater, and I think about digital signage as an experience, and they're going to get, I think, more and more of an experience, and they're starting to get interactive and all this stuff. But if you want it to be an immersive experience, especially as they're getting into the 360 video and all this stuff, then you want to set the environment around it. It means setting the temperature, closing the blinds, getting the lights at the right brightness and stuff like that. And so I think that it can also not only be for scaling, not only be for all sorts of other DA stuff on the back end of the digital signage, the kind of stuff we don't see behind the scenes. It can be on the front of house, so to speak, to kind of set the mood and set the tone.
Exactly. You know, at Crestron, you know, we have experience centers all over the world where thousands of corporate enterprise clients and educators and homeowners even come to visit to see our technology. You know, through profiling, proper profiling, the digital signage is set for the preferences of the visitor. So when a visitor comes in, we know who they are, and all of the digital signage content is delivered that is pertinent to, you know, what concerns them most, why they're there.
I like that, and I think it's part of, you know, putting people together here at InfoComm. It's part of the conversation that can happen about the experience around digital signage. It's something we haven't talked about enough. I actually think I'm going to bring it up to Mike and to Jim Nista on the wrap-up show today and see what they say. But I like this idea a lot, and I like the idea that here this stuff can happen. What do you think of InfoComm?
Oh, InfoComm is great. We don't miss it for the world. You see we have a 9,000 square foot booth.
It's beautiful.
It's our most significant investment. We are on a trade show floor somewhere all over the world every business day of the year. The most emphasis that we give to any trade show is right here at InfoComm.
Wow, that's really awesome. Tell me about Ping. That's your new system for homes. It's a really cool system because it's a little bit, it's robust, but it's a little bit like scaled down, and it's kind of an easier entry point too.
Exactly. We're built on the premise of simplifying technology. Now with a Ping system, anyone can configure the system to their preferences in their homes or even their offices. You don't have to hire a programmer or bring in a technical staff to configure the system for you. You can do it yourself.
Wow, awesome. Crestron.com, Crestron.com, an amazing company. Vin Bruno, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to come see you. We got to get you on set on our daily show in New Jersey out of our studio, and I want to come see you so that I can find out about that hockey.
You have an open invitation. We have a beautiful design showroom in New York City. Yeah. You know, it's a home in the decoration and design building, and we have an experience center right in Rockley. Wow. You have an open invitation.
Thank
you. Contact me and we'll set up a great day for you.
Oh, I can't wait. Thank you so much. We definitely have to make it happen. Thank you so much for joining us. This is your live continuing coverage of InfoComm 2015's Digital Signage Pavilion here on the Digital Signage stage at the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando, Florida. We are your live continuing official coverage of InfoComm's Digital Signage Pavilion at InfoComm. It's so exciting. You guys are the Terrifics. You make BeTerrific special. That was a treat, wasn't it? That was so special. Gotta love Crestron, one of the most amazing companies, such a visionary company, and what a great story. All right, we'll be back with a whole lot more right after this. Don't go anywhere.